Hola clase, buenos días. Espero que estén bien. En este PowerPoint vamos a hablar sobre las primeras lecciones del libro de texto. Cuando hablamos del libro de texto, sí, ya se fue. Está. Ok. Cuando hablamos del libro de texto me refiero al libro Spanish for Medical Personnel. Y en este libro vas a encontrar las tareas escritas. ¿Okay? Acuérdense que puse las primeras 3 lecciones en Blackboard bajo Course Documents. Okay? So if you do not yet have the book, I did put the first 3 lessons there. Lección preliminar 1, lección preliminar 2 y lección 1. So you'll find them under Course Documents. We'll be turning in our assignments in Blackboard under the Assignments tab. And in order to complete your homeworks, you have 3 different options. The first option that you have is to print the documents that I uploaded, write in the answers, and either take a picture or scan them so that you can turn them in on Blackboard. Another option that you have is to write in the answers in the physical textbook if you bought the hard copy and you plan on keeping it, and then upload the pictures, take pictures of those pages, and then turn those photos in on Blackboard. The last option that you have is to write in the answers in a Word document and then turn in the Word document on Blackboard. Now, if you do the Word document on Blackboard, I want you to keep in mind that you need to do a few things when you're turning it in. First, you need to have obviously your name, the class, my last name, the date. You need to have a title for your document. For example, las actividades de lección preliminar 1. Your last name, apellido should be here with the page number. And you should label the activity so I know which one it is, and make sure that you highlight your answers. So these actually happen to be the answers to our first activity. I just kind of gave you guys some examples here. You could, if you wanted to, write in the context. You don't have to do that, but you could if you wanted to. I just want to make sure that you highlight your answers so that I can see them plainly in the Word doc. So let's go to our first actividades. And just like I said before, these are my answers for this first activity so that you guys have an example of what that is going to look like. So all it wants you to do is write an appropriate response. So if someone says to you, buenos días, you can have a couple of different options. You can say, hola, buenos días, ¿qué tal? Buen día. There's a bunch of different ways that you can respond. So if you just kind of go through here, you can think of different options, okay? So that's going to be the first activity. And this is just mainly greetings and despedidas, okay? Then we have the next activity where you need to write in Spanish the name of the place and telephone number that you would call in each of these situations, okay? So you need medicine, you have a toothache, your husband or wife is having a heart attack, etc. So in this case, you're going to need to go through the vocab for the lesson to figure out where do you need to go. Do you need to go to the hospital, the doctor's office, the dentist's office, etc. Bien? So you will go through the vocab that's in the very first part of the chapter. E, and then it tells you here that you need to make patients' appointments at a medical clinic and you have to write out their names. And here it gives you different names, different examples. Basically, you're going to ask the patient, ¿cómo se escribe? Like, how do you spell your last name? ¿Cómo se escribe el apellido? Bien? So we have Sandoval, Fuentes, Varela, Ugarte, Barrios, y Zubizarreta. And you need to not just know how to say them, you need to know how to spell them. So for example, my name, Gonzalez, is Gonzalez. Okay, and how do I know how to pronounce them? I have given you guys here el abecedario, which is basically the alphabet in Spanish. That way you can go through, right? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, and then the two R's would be R, S, T, U, V, o V chica, W, or you might even hear W, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so that is how you pronounce the letters of the alphabet, and it gives you here the alphabet in English for your reference as well. Bien, so you will have a partner in this class. We might change partners for the second half of the class, just so you guys can kind of get to know other people in the class as well. So this is something that you will be working on with them. What I would like you guys to do in these situations is do a Zoom meeting. And in that Zoom meeting, you guys can record yourselves working on this together and then turn that into me in Blackboard underneath assignments. You can probably just turn in the link for the Zoom. And it just has to be one partner, but when you turn it in, make sure you write the other partner's name, and those instructions will be there for you to remember, okay? So greeting your instructor, greeting a patient, you're thanking someone for a favor. So this way you guys can get some practice with each other. Bien? Okay, and here is actually the list of compañeros y compañeras de la clase. You have the information here. You'll be able to find each other's correos electrónicos o los emails en Blackboard bajo Course Documents. Y hay una sección que se llama Groups, ¿ok? Y ahí es donde van a encontrar los correos electrónicos. Muy bien. So, for the second activities, ahora estamos en lección preliminar 2. Tenemos que saber algo sobre el género y el número, right? We need to learn a little bit about gender and number. So I'm sorry that it looks so crazy. I did have to kind of go through and erase the answers that were already there. So that's why it kind of looks so messy. But basically, what we're wanting you guys to practice in this is understanding gender and number. So we have definite articles, and here these are the indefinite articles. And that helps us understand a little bit about gender and number of nouns in Spanish. So I have given you guys some rules here so that you can understand more or less gender and number. Basically, typically, a lot of times in Spanish, you will see that nouns that end in O are masculine and nouns that end in A are feminine. Okay, a lot of times too, masculine nouns will refer to men, feminine nouns will refer to women. And you see here that we have these indefinite articles, un, una, before the noun. So we'll go through a little bit more definite and indefinite. But that's the general rule. If it ends in O, it's masculine. If it ends in A, it's feminine. That's not always the case. There are definitely exceptions, but that is generally what the rule is. Another thing that we can take into account too, some masculine forms might end in a consonant rather than an O. For example, profesor or señor. Those refer to, when they're referring to people, we're referring to men. And una profesora, una señora, they do end in A, they refer to women. We do also have other nouns that don't change at all. Estudiante, joven, recepcionista, for example, o policía también. And in these, the way that you can determine the context is whether or not you're talking about a man or a woman or a certain person is by the article. So if you say un estudiante, you're referring to a male student, una estudiante, a female, okay? Or el estudiante, la estudiante también. And this just kind of gives us a little bit more examples of what are the patterns. So a big pattern that we have, if it ends in dad, tad, tud, sion, they are most likely going to be feminine. Bien? Let me see. Depending on the, like usually what they end in, it's going to help you determine whether or not it's going to be masculine or feminine. Bien? Okay, and then how do we determine singular and plural? So If it ends in a vowel, such as a, e, o, you make the plural form by adding s. Okay, so la corbata, singular, las corbatas, plural. Notice here that we had to change also the article. La is the singular version of the article, the definite article, and las is the plural version. So everything has to agree in gender and number with the noun. If the noun is feminine and plural, then the article has to be feminine and plural. Just like in the second example, el muchacho. El is the singular article, and muchachos in the singular form. Muchachos becomes plural, so then the article has to become plural. If a noun ends in a consonant, you add es. For example, la mujer, las mujeres, la pared, las paredes, el suéter, los suéteres. And the same thing, you have to also change the article from singular to plural. Now, if it ends in a z, you change the z to c, and you add es. For example, lápiz, lápices, luz, luces, cruz, cruces. Bien, estos son los ejemplos. And here we have the examples of definite and indefinite articles. So I've broken them up into masculine and feminine. So our singular is here, el, un, uno, and plural, los unos, la una, las unas. Okay, so those are the different options that we have. And then it tells you the definite and indefinite. So for the definite, it means the, and for indefinite, it means a or some, right? For example, un muchacho, like a boy, and unos muchachos, right? A boy or young man. If you're having any trouble understanding si un sustantivo or a noun is masculine or feminine, I suggest to use wordreference.com. And I'm just going to show you there what you will use. Reference.com. Let's say you don't understand a word. So let's just say muchacho. So you're going to look up the word in Spanish because you don't know whether or not it is masculine or feminine. So it tells you here, muchacho is, in this case, it's telling you muchacha. So muchacha, so muchacho, noun, masculine for the first one, and muchacha, noun, feminine. So it's giving you the two distinctions there. So muchacho is masculine, muchacha is feminine. And it even kind of gives you this little example here, but it's in Spanish. Okay, so and it will tell you which one is the word that you might be looking for. So let's say you're unsure for that one. It changes based on what's another one that we might have here. Let's look at the examples from the text. So let's say you're having trouble with radiografía. You don't know whether or not it's masculine or feminine. Oh. So we'll go in, we'll check it, and here it tells you it is feminine. The F here, right? So the F tells you that it's feminine, so that way you know what to put beforehand. In this case, the definite article is el, la, los, las, and then in the second one, you're practicing indefinite articles, which is un, uno, unos, una, and unas, right? So I have those labeled for you here. And in this case, we're working with the verb ser. You're also working with numbers and with a partner. So these are the activities that you have to complete for that week. I've given you here the conjugation of the verb ser with the different pronombres, right? Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella, usted, it, singular es, nosotros, nosotras somos, vosotros, vosotras sois, ellos, ellas, ustedes, it, plural, son. So if we're looking here, we have to look for the subject of the noun or the subject of the sentence. So in this case, in number one, it is ustedes. So you'll look here and you'll see, okay, where do I find ustedes? Aquí están ustedes. So in this